So what do you got for me here? I got
Right. So, are you familiar with podcasting?
Not very much.
Okay, it's kind of like an internet radio, only
Okay.
not necessarily doing songs. Although I think some people do songs.
Yeah.
A lot of people do interviews. The people I listen to, they interview stars, and
Okay.
or they're just rambling about their goings on. They're directors or writers or something. Always in Hollywood.
Okay.
And my thought was, after sitting here and listening to all of these, is if they can sit around and start talking to celebrities, why can't I sit down and start talking to our local celebrities? I mean,
regular people.
Yeah, regular people who have stories to tell that are they're going through stuff, or that they've done something remarkable through time.
Right.
Anything. Everybody's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting down trying to figure out,
what
how to put it out there. We've got a great little community around here.
We do.
And
lots of people that
lots of people that
do lots of cool things.
Exactly. And so I'm starting off. You're the second person I've talked to.
All right.
I talked to
Coach.
Yeah. I was horrible. I'm hoping to do better this time. I've been really listening and studying and hoping for the best. And, but thankfully he can talk.
I know, he can just tell you all kinds of stories, I'm sure.
But, so it's good for me. I know that
just
I did
to practice.
Yeah, and this was a bad thing. This is what I failed at in school. Even I can do the short stuff, but these long style interviews, I gotta learn.
So you're working on it.
I'm working on it. So yours number 2.
All right.
So there's no pressure. I mean, if it all goes bad, then I stop.
You can edit it out.
And really, my plan is that the only thing I'm going to edit are breaks. Okay. If there's a long pause or something. There's no FCC watching, so if you say certain words, the only one. We're not going to get in trouble. But you are a teacher, so
I'm pretty clean.
I figure you'll keep it clean for me. He kept it clean. I figure you'll keep it clean. I don't know anybody around who's not going to keep it clean for me.
No, I'm used pretty.
Yeah, at least nobody I'm going to talk to that won't keep it clean for me.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you don't want to talk about? That if I had... There's nothing...
Nope, I'm pretty open.
Okay. All right. Well,
if you look at Facebook, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I mean...
Are you blogging at all? Anything?
I'm not. Like, I see Elliot does, like, that Carrying Bridge thing or whatever, where he kind of blogs and updates, and I don't know enough about all that to... I should be doing it
Have you
more.
thought about doing it?
No, I did get a journal, because I thought last time I think I recorded some stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm more of a writer than... Which I guess I could type it up on it. Yeah. Yeah. Just the journeys. Well, and I thought for them to have something too in the future, Yeah. Just to know, what I went through or whatever along the way. So I should. I don't know what the best thing is.
There's a lot of different things out there. So I mean, if you want, I'll get you hooked up and get you going with something.
Well, I can start.
Start.
I can write a lot. Too much.
So, I mean, I guess how are you feeling? I'm starting right into this.
Okay. This week is good.
This week is good.
This week's good. I have energy back. My legs are getting stronger. They were pretty weak after treatment.
Okay, so is it the chemo that's weakening
Yeah.
you?
Well, I don't know, because this has really been going on since, like, September. I had back pain for a long time. And, I thought, I went to the chiropractor and tried to go that way. After about 6 weeks, I went to my doctor and said, I think it's back in my bones. And she said, oh, I'm sure it's not. And she said, but let's do some x-rays. And they were looking for it, and nothing showed up on the x-ray. So I've kind of been hobbling around for about 6 months with the back pain. And it would move from my hip, and then it'd go, to the middle of my back. And so I just thought, well, I just have to deal with back pain, I guess, And then I started getting the shortness of breath. And that's really when, after about 3 weeks of that, the parents are like, you probably should go and get that checked out. It's not normal for a 35-year-old to not be able to walk from school parking lot up to my room without being, huffing and puffing and breaking out in a sweat. And
So if the X-rays missed it, how was it found then?
Well, and that's a good question because in August I went down to Ann Arbor for my yearly checkup, and they don't really do any scans or anything, and so a lot of people are saying, well, they kind of missed it down there too, you know. So finally, when I went to my doctor and said I'm having shortness of breath, you know, I told her all the different symptoms I was having.
And when you're saying your doctor, not your general practitioner.
Just my family doctor.
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I called Ann Arbor and they said start with your family doctor. They can run the chest X-ray or they can run, you know, because since I had chemo before, it can affect your heart. It can do damage to other organs, and sometimes it takes a while to I guess figure that out or whatever. So they thought could be something related to your heart, so they did like an EKG, and that didn't show any damage at all. They were thinking maybe thyroid because I was losing a little bit of weight, and so they were going to run an ultrasound, a chest X-ray, do some blood work.
Run you through the whole thing.
Yeah, basically. Yep, to rule stuff out. She said it could be a blood clot someplace. And then she kind of felt between my ribs, and she's like, it's kind of hard here. She said it's supposed to be like the rest of your stomach, you know. And she said, I'm going to, not that I think it is, but I'm going to put like mass in the abdomen down, you know, for them to look for on this ultrasound. And so I'd had a chest X-ray the same day, and that showed a little spot. They probably would have ruled it pneumonia, but then they did the ultrasound, and that's where they found the masses in the liver.
Okay.
And so they figured the little spot in my lung is part of that too, because they were looking at both of them together.
Both lungs or both?
Both. They were looking at the ultrasound and the chest X-ray, and so they figure it's all from the cancer. So
what have you been fully diagnosed with so far then?
Well, you know, when you start with my family doctor, she knows my history, but she's not a oncologist or anything. Mm-hmm. So she said, you know, it's obviously back. It's in your liver. So she called Ann Arbor and said, what other tests do you want me to run? They said you need to run a CAT scan and a bone scan to see if it's in the bones.
And this way you didn't have to make the long trip
to
Ann Arbor.
Yeah. And so they ran those tests up here. She got the results that it is in the bone. So she called me with those, and I was already set up for an appointment in Ann Arbor at that point. And then when I went down there, you know, it's not liver cancer. A lot of people think because it's in my liver that it's liver cancer, but they did a liver biopsy in Ann Arbor, and it's not my breast cancer metastasized, basically. So it moves to the liver, and it's moved to the bone, and
So it's not specifically a bone cancer or the liver cancer.
It's the same cancer I had last time. They tested it.
Okay.
It's the same. It's like estrogen positive and this HER2 new positive, and that's exactly what it was last time. So there must have been a couple cells floating around for the last 10 years that just decided to turn bad.
Just in case, hanging out.
Yeah, because it wasn't in my lymph nodes last time, and I had a double mastectomy, so they removed all the cancer that they got, and I did all the chemo last time too, so that should have killed all the cells. So for whatever reason, I've had genetic testing, and I don't carry the cancer gene, even though my mom had it, my grandma had it, my 2 aunts had it. They carry the gene, and for whatever reason, I don't. Like the doctors are like. Yeah. You're just one of those we can't explain.
You've got it, but you can't.
Yeah, because I said, run it again. Right. And I said, I don't believe you. And they did. And I don't. And I said, well, now explain to me why 10 years later it's back if I really don't carry this gene. But they don't have answers. Yeah.
So has it ruined any of the organs or bones, or is it just
at this point?
Outside of them?
Yeah. I haven't seen the bone scan. She wants me to look at it just so I'm aware of where the spots are. So if I have severe pain, I know it's in my arm. I know it's in my sternum and some of my ribs, my pelvis. So they're just basically kind of, you know, shoulders down. They said pelvis is pretty painful, and it looked like I have a crack. It looked like I might have had a little break there, but I don't have any pain, so.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yep, so, and for some reason I have no back pain anymore after having it for 6 months. Now I'm free of back pain, but, and I don't have pain anywhere until I get my treatment. And then one of the side effects is the 2 medications is kind of like deep bone pain. And for me, it's just in my legs. Like my arms aren't really affected or anything, but it just causes kind of like a throbbing, constant pain. And like I had chemo on was it a Wednesday last time? And by Friday, usually about 2 days later, the pain starts. Okay. And then it lasted pretty much a week.
So really until the next
kind of
treatment.
And yeah, last time I didn't get that next treatment because my blood count was really low. One of the other factors that fights off infection was at 0. And so I was supposed to have my port put in that day, sitting there on the table.
And what do they want it to be? If you were at 0, what do they want you to have?
Oh gosh, the white blood count I think is like 3 to 7. There's like a range. This other one, there's a range too, and I can't remember. Okay. But I don't think it's usually at 0. Right. So they canceled my chemo that day. They canceled my surgery. I had to wear masks around the house for a good week. Yeah.
I saw the signs at the doors.
Yeah, signs at the doors. Don't come in if you're sick.
Yeah, that's why I left
it's
Christy
hard with
home.
the kids, because Emlyn had a cough and she doesn't understand. She'd stand right next to me and cough, and it's like, Emlyn, please turn and look the other way. I mean, they're getting better, washing their hands. They're doing really good.
Kids are little petri dishes.
Yeah, and that's why I said, as soon as they come home, wash hands. I'm trying to wash coats more often, gloves more often, stuff like that. And I just wear a mask, you know.
The normal things that you kind of ignore on a day-to-day.
Wiping more stuff down and keeping it clean. And then I got a shot at this new Neulasta, which is supposed to boost, all those levels back up. And so that's why they have me wait 2 weeks. It, I guess, takes about 2 weeks to bring it back up. Yeah. So I'm secretly hoping that I'll only go once every 3 weeks. Because then then I get a good week, I get a good, it's been about, by the time I go, it'll be about a week and a half where I've really felt good. The kids can see me feeling good. Yeah. I can do stuff with them, I can help do normal, get them breakfast, stuff that I can't do the week that I'm in pain. And so, and I'm going to try. I did bad with my, ibuprofen last time. I didn't really take it when the pain started, and so the pain got ahead of me, and then it didn't work. And
once it gets ahead of you, you're done.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way, 24 hours of constant pain. I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this again. Right. So I called them that Monday and said, okay, I need to know what to do, And they said, well, you should have been doing this, and you should have been, because my mouth got really irritated too, and I couldn't eat regular food, nothing salty, nothing spicy.
So you're on.
I had to be. Butter, it was pretty bland, soups, yogurt, not a whole lot of choice of mashed potatoes. Right. Nothing very exciting. And I said it's hard because people would drop stuff off for dinner or whatever, and it'd look really good, but it wasn't anything that I could eat.
Well, everybody else is eating well.
Yeah, I know. Connor and Donner, they're getting, and all the sweets that are dropped off, the cookies, and the little kids are enjoying those. So.
Oh, I bet they are.
Yep. I'm like, it looks really good. I'll just sit here and drink my protein shake. And that was probably the worst part. I said, but I'm hoping this time I've got all the mouthwashes, so I'm just going to start it right away, and I hope that won't be as bad.
As long as you stay ahead of it.
Yeah. And they said, you can call if it gets so bad. Like, that's why we have the emergency number on there. Call, and they'll prescribe something.
So they just have other things that they can prescribe for you?
Yeah, like something hard, like, oh gosh, they said oxycodone. I'm like, I don't know that I want to take that, so I'm going to try ibuprofen first. But, yeah, they've got other things, but they all have side effects, too, if you take them, Right. So it's like, what do? Just suffer through it. Because even they gave me a mouthwash that has lidocaine that'll numb the inside of your mouth, but it tastes horrible. So I'm like, would I just rather
if it numbs your mouth, do you bite your tongue or inside your cheek?
It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I guess maybe I didn't swish enough of it around there. Right. But, that way it wouldn't burn, because I said I was trying to eat really good. I was eating fruit and salads and being healthy, and then the fruit burns my mouth, it's too acidic. And so I said, well, there goes that. And So at that point, I just ate whatever I could eat, and just smaller meals throughout the day. But you gotta get creative.
Right.
And I said some people are gonna bring meals like in little individual, because I said I'm not eating a lot.
Right.
So I said if somebody brings it and just little things I can put in the freezer, and if I'm here by myself, I can just take something out for lunch.
So if somebody wanted to bring you something, what would
Yeah,
they do?
like somebody, Nancy's making her famous Nancy mac and cheese, and somebody's gonna do like a potato soup and like a cream of broccoli and just different things like that.
And that's all stuff that that's palatable for you.
Yes, yeah. And I said it might not be as bad this time if I, continue. And yeah, I said, but last time I missed that part where they said, well, you're supposed to start that the day that you had chemo. I said, oh, I thought I was only supposed to do it if I started getting irritation. And they're like, no. So, like I said, I learned the hard way the first time, and now I get it. And so, and I've been lucky because there was no nausea. I mean, they have medicine for that too, but I didn't have any of that. No allergic reactions to any of the medicine. So it's just the bone pain. And I said, like I said, if I can get ahead of it and it can be tolerable, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll be what I have to do. I said I don't want to take the hard medicine, but usually, like I said, it was one day of really, really bad pain, and then the other it's just sore, But it's amazing how fast you can lose your strength when you just sit around or lay around for a couple days.
Yeah. Now, do you have any exercises that you do to keep moving, or do you just try to keep moving?
Just try to get up. I get up every hour and walk around the house, or do the stairs up and down. I said it's hard. I 2-step up, but I said now I can go up normally, because it's been a while.
Right. By the time you get so when you're having the treatments and you're having the pain, do you make the trip upstairs? Do you just stay down?
I do, but usually it's like once a day, and I say I come down and I stay down here unless I'm tired, and then I'll go up and lay down. I said I'm probably pushing it more this time because I want to be around, so when the kids are home from school, I want them to see me up and around, So I said last time when I had chemo, I said the boys were older. Don kind of took care of them. I stayed upstairs an awful lot and just rested.
Old enough to take care of themselves.
Yeah, they could give themselves their baths and get ready for school and stuff. So I did a lot more resting last time. So I don't know if that's good or bad this time, but I try to rest when they're gone and then be up when they're home. And so we'll see. I guess I just gotta listen to my body. If I'm tired, I have to go lay down, and I'll have to. Last time I had trouble sleeping too, and falling asleep at night. I'd be tired, but I'd be wide awake at 11 o'clock, and so that was kind of hard. But we'll see. It could be totally different this time. That's the hard thing is each treatment. It's like doesn't necessarily gonna be the same as last time, and so we'll see.
What's the most popular thing people are asking you right now?
Oh, goodness.
I
guess people want to help.
What can we do?
That's kind of what they want to do. People want to know. Well, I've got tons of people that offer, we can drive you places, we can take you to treatments. And I said the list is so long that I probably won't even be able to use everybody. Yeah. And I know a lot of people want meals, and I said sometimes it's hard because the little kids are picky. Right. So we just kind of make them their own, whatever they want.
Well, you keep cereal for the kids. Yeah. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I said, Don and Connor, however, are picky also. So then no vegetables, nothing, no casseroles it's ridiculous. So it's hard to say, hey, bring in food, unless they ask, Like last week, Don was on call, so every night I needed somebody to come and do dinner for the kids and help with baths because I can't, bed down and give them the baths anymore. And so somebody would text, okay, now what do they like? And I said, well, they like spaghetti. Just keep the sauce separate or come and make it here, I said, I can help you once you're here. No. And, so I said, they were going to try to set something up online where I could put what we've had for the week so nobody duplicates meals or and really I said people are bringing so much that we eat it for 2 days or 3 days so I said, not a big, huge meal, really. We're only feeding a couple.
Right.
You know, and I guess, just check. People have, like I said, dropped off desserts. It's been overwhelming. I guess people send me gas cards in the mail, or I'll get gift cards, Trevi's. We've been eating a lot of Trevi's because we've got some gift cards. And, and prayers are the biggest thing, I guess, because if they can't do anything else, at least if they can pray, that's something. I do have a close group of friends that come, Loose Otter comes once a week, and we plan out, what the kids' activities are, when the basketball games are for Connor, what do I need.
I was told they were all going to get themselves in a rotation to help you out.
Yes, and they kind of are. Like Wednesday night is Kendra and Sarah comes over, and they know what to do, and then Thursday night, Sue Lang picks the kids up from daycare and gets Emlyn to dance, and then, it's just kind of, and we're going to keep it, because we want to try to keep it as normal as possible for them, on the weeks that we can. And so Sue's just going to keep doing it because Emlyn's used to it. The kids are used to it, so we'll just leave it that way. This week, Don's just has to work his normal schedule, so we won't need as much help.
Okay.
Although I'm going for my treatment. But his mom's going to come out and stay at the house and get the kids up for school, and so that's a big help too.
So is Don taking you down to your treatment?
He's going to do it this week. Yep. I talked him out of it last time, even though I was going to have my port. I said, I just get sick whenever they put me out. So even if I just go out in Twilight Land and
so
I get
the
sick.
anesthesia gets you.
And they've tried all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't matter. I said, just make sure I have a bucket, and I'll be good.
Right.
And so, but he's like, no, you got a long chemo, you're getting that. He said, I'm going this time. But he needs to save his days for down the road, too, you know. Because there'll be probably other times where I'll need him to. And I said, there's so many other people that, and luckily I get to do my blood work here in Marlette now. So I'll know the day before if I can go and get my treatment.
That really
and so
helps.
that saves. It does. It saves my, I said it's a long drive for me, the 2 hours to sit in the car when I'm not feeling great.
Yeah.
And for somebody to take off work to take me down there, I don't want them to waste days either. So last time, though, we got the good news because the liver functions had come way down, like 700 and something down to in the hundreds, which is still not in the normal range. But if one treatment did that,
imagine how many.
Yeah, what's going to happen this time, and they should hopefully come back to normal. And I'm hoping.
Right.
I said, when I first heard it, I had about 4 days of, this is bad news. Like, this isn't a good thing. I know this. I kind of came to terms with that. But then there's all these success stories that everybody keeps sharing with me, or somebody will comment on Facebook. I've been battling it for 20 years, but I'm healthy and good, and, And so I chose to kind of focus on that. Talked to Pastor Roman one night, and he said, it's okay to think that way, like I've written letters to the kids, and just in case, hope I never don't have to use them for a long time, but I had to do that for my peace of mind, I guess. And but he said, you got to get in fighting mode now. He said, you got to not dwell on this and start thinking positive. And so after about my 4 days of my pity party,
Yeah. So you've actually kind of faced your mortality.
I think so. I have. I'm not sure that Don has, and the kids are, they won't understand,
Right.
But yeah, I know it's not good, and eventually, I'm going to do as much as I can to prolong it as long as I can, but eventually I know that, they can't get rid of it. That's the thing. I said with the first time, they could remove it, This time, you can't remove your liver. You can't remove all your bones, So I know it's going to stay in there, and I'm just kind of hoping to prolong it, but
So since you face your mortality and you're working as hard as you can, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you moving? What are you looking at? Like Coach put it to me. You dangle a carrot in front of a horse to get them to move. What's your carrot that you keep going for?
I think my kids, there's a lot of stuff that I want to see them do, and they're young. And I lost my mom when I was 6 to breast cancer. My sister was 3, and so I totally know what it feels like to grow up without a mom.
So how did you process that as a 6-year-old?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I said I remember, praying to God, please save my mom. I said, because we were so little and she was sick those last couple years. So think when you're 5 and 6, like, you don't remember an awful lot. And what I do remember is her in the hospital or coming home and having to go back to the hospital. And I mean, we were lucky. Both sets of grandparents were right there. My aunts were a big help with us. And, I guess you question why. And then when I met Don and the boys, I said, well, maybe this is why I lost my mom, because now I can relate to the boys, losing their mom. Mm-hmm. And I said I never pushed myself on them. I mean, I gave them their space. We went really slow. I never forced them to, do anything that was uncomfortable. I said, because I know the feeling, Yeah. I said, I'm lucky my dad didn't remarry till I was like 18, so we kind of grew up with just Dad and, our grandparents helping out an awful lot. But, when I talk to my sister, we say, wish my mom would have left letters,
Okay.
like they saved her favorite, dress and different things like that. But it's nothing in her handwriting. It's not her talking to us. And, we kind of both thought it would have been nice if she would have done that. And so that's why I think a lot of me wanting to write the letters is because I wish I would have had that, And so I said, I think that's important for them. And I said, if I don't get to watch them graduate or get married or, I want them to have something, to open on that day. And
so have you thought about their specific life events to write something specific for those?
Right now I've just done the basic, a letter to each of them. And then I said, as I have time on my good weeks, I said I would like to, when they turn 16 or when they graduate, something for them to open up.
I'll make sure to put a pause and skip it if you want to take it. If you get.
And then, like when they get married, and I said, I might be lucky enough to see Donnie get married or, and definitely kind of graduate this year and stuff. But said it's hard to think about not being around for those days. And that's kind of, I think, what motivates me to do as much as I can. And when we first found out, I thought, really? Like, I haven't been angry, I guess, yet. Maybe there'll be a day where I'm angry. I haven't been angry. I do the why because really, Don's been through enough. The older boys have been through enough. They already lost their mom. Like, why give them a stepmom that, they're going to lose too? And I think, that was kind of those first couple days. Like, why would you do that? Or why give me 3 little kids if I'm not going to be around to watch them grow up? Because I think Emlyn won't remember me at all. I mean, she's 4. If I don't get, some more years on this earth to really bond, I said, she's not going to remember me. And that's stuff that I guess makes me want to do whatever I can to at least get as many years. And, there are good things coming out all the time. They do more research. They have more treatment options.
A lot more since when you were younger.
Yeah, well, even they said 10 years ago to now that it's all changed. And so, think about, in the next couple of years, I've got a friend that has somebody that works in oncology, and she said, just tell her there's good things coming next couple of years and just keep fighting. And I said, I do look at other people, and I said, they do get several years out of it, and maybe I can get more, And like yesterday at the prayer, the anointing, it's like, I just came away feeling like, you know what? I don't think I'm done here yet. I don't know. I just have, you don't want to get your hopes up and then it's that balance. Right. Get your hopes up and then, okay, it's going downhill fast. But that's kind of when they did the brain scan. They had to do it because they did a CAT scan. They stopped at the shoulders. And they're like, we really need to see if it's in your brain. And I'm like, I really don't want to know if it's in my brain. I don't really care if it is. Like, don't tell me. And it turned out negative. which was, good, something good, because I said everything was so negative. Like, when I first got that, it was in the liver. Okay, God, please don't let it be in the bones. Oh, it's in the bones. Something more negative. Yeah. Now it was like, okay, something positive it's not there. And so, I don't know. I guess we felt God yesterday. I know I did. A lot of people remark that.
Yeah, I apologize for not being able to be
fine.
there. I had to go into work, but I know Christy was there, and was it a big turnout?
Yeah, the inner sanctuary was pretty full. Yeah. Parking lot was full. Quite a lot of family and friends, and I know there's other people that couldn't, but were praying at the same time, or thinking about me, and I just really think all three of the pastors, Pastor Hollenbeck and Pastor Dan and Pastor Dave, they just did a great job. Diana and Sarah with the music, I said I just really felt, that, the presence of God was there with us. And, it was emotional, obviously, hard to, right. Listen to some of the songs. The one was I Will Rise, when he calls my name. And I said, that's hard, Yeah. That's hard to sing that and think, am I ready to do that, if that's my time to go. And I think, not that I want, or that I am, but like I said, I think I'm more realistic about that than, maybe everybody else. And I said, it's funny how I said I kind of become the role of comforter to other people. Because they'll break down and cry, and I'll be like, it's fine, it's okay, everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, it's just one of those things, I said, my dad broke down yesterday, and I said, I never see him cry, Oh, yeah. And so that was hard. I said, it'll be fine, so that's kind of different dynamic, too, is, I'm the one going through it all. I said, but I feel like sometimes I have to be the one to be the positive. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this.
Right. And you're the one, you're actively going through it. You're actively fighting. Everybody's kind of staying off on the side, just watching them fight.
Yeah. And I said, it's amazing. I get cards daily from people, that are thinking about me and praying about me. And I said, just the stuff on Facebook, that people put on there. And I said, it's overwhelming, I guess, how many people care. And, I don't know. I said, I guess I just always have tried to be nice to people. I said, and when you go through something like this, I said, it pays up to be nice, because I said, now I have so many people, that stop in daily, or, hey, we're just checking. Do you need something? We'll bring something from here, going to the grocery store. What do you need? And people have done grocery shopping. They come and do laundry for me. And I said, this last time, Don was real. We don't need help or do this on our own. And this time, I said, we don't have a choice with the little kids. You know, like I can't, like they can't take care of themselves. And I said, there's days I can't. And I said, we have to accept help. We couldn't get through it without, people stopping and just picking up the house for me, or
so do you think that might be one of the toughest things, just accepting the help?
Probably. We don't have a choice, right. Because some people say, oh, how about with school? Like, is it hard to let it go? And I said, I don't have a choice. I can't worry about school. I've got to do this. And I said, I got to worry about my kids and my family. I said, school is off to the side, and I know that they've got a good sub up there. And, I'm very thankful people donated days. I think I have enough days for this year and all of next year if I needed it. Oh, wow. They were very generous for that, and that takes a load off my mind, because then I still get paid. We don't have to live off one salary, and so that's been something that luckily Marlette Schools does that. Not all schools will let their teachers donate, and so that's a good thing. And like I said, we've got a good sub up there, so I can't worry about it,
And you're not getting any phone calls from the sub or anything?
Nope. I don't have to do sub plans. I did like 1 week of sub plans before, and that was all. And I know the other teachers up there are helping them. And so, yeah, that's just one thing I can't worry about. I said I'm, with Connor being his senior year, I said it's not good timing, because I wanted to be at all of his games, and I can't be now. I can't go to a lot of the away games. like this Friday's, I want to be at Team Connor, and I said it's probably gonna be one of my bad days.
Right.
So I said I'll be there in spirit, and I said those are the things that I miss, and he just got the MHSAA, one of the student athlete, the scholarships, or scholar athlete. And so they do a big presentation during the boys basketball finals, and I guess it's a big day, and they do a luncheon for the families, and they present a scholarship and stuff. And I said, we have to work with my doctors because those are things I don't want to miss, And I said, so we're going to have to schedule so it's a good week when these certain things come up, or when he graduates. Like, that's got to be a good week. I got to be at graduation, so they're going to have to.
Doctors going to have to figure out how to do it.
That's right. And, honestly, like even last time I thought, when I couldn't have my treatment, last time I thought, they're going to make me come next week. When the basketball game, when my anointing and all this stuff, I thought, they're going to do it now. I'm here. And luckily I said it was God's timing because, nope, we're giving you 2 weeks off. We're staying with your scheduled treatment. And so it all worked out where I could, attend these things that I wanted to. And I think that's God's working his plan, and that's probably the hardest thing is just you have to trust and, let him do it in his timing. And
how's the faith been helping you?
Oh, gosh. Last time I learned, because last time about halfway through, I was still trying to do it on my own, yeah, I trust, but, I got control of this, and it was about halfway, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I was like, I don't care if I do any more treatment. I can't do this anymore, and that's kind of when I had to, okay, God, you're going to have to take it over for me, and I'm going to have to trust, and you're going to have to get me through this because I can't do it by myself anymore. And so I think I learned last time that you have to let him, because you can't. There's no way you can get through this. I don't know how people would without trusting that, he's carrying you on the days, he won't give you too much pain, or he'll give you a solution to it.
Right. Even if it is a little bit late, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he taught me a lesson now. Now I know what to do. But even with the kids, it's hard to explain and have the right words. And so just to say, God, please make them accept it, or give me the right words to explain it to them. Because you don't want to give too much information, but you want them to understand.
How have you been able to explain it to them?
At first we didn't. We explained it to the older kids,
And they were with you during the last time.
Right.
So they have a understanding.
Yeah, and, Donnie doesn't talk very much, so, he doesn't share a lot or ask a lot of questions, and so we're trying, it's kind of hard to know,
Right.
Connor shows more emotion, or he'll post stuff on Facebook, or he'll get right into selling T-shirts for me or handing out. I mean, he goes gung-ho, and that's kind of how he, I think shows his, support and stuff. But, yeah, with the little kids, finally we had to say, well, Mommy's going to be, tired and sick for a while, and I can't lift you, and you've got to, they couldn't really sit on my lap when my legs were, really sore. But it's funny because there's been comments one day they were coming home from school and I was standing at the door because I felt good, and Ryan walks in, are you better, Mommy? Well, this week I'm better. They don't understand it's going to be ups and downs. I guess this next thing is the hair because it's coming out slowly. And so I'm just going to shave it and be done with it. And that's what I did last time. And I said, for me, it's more traumatic to sit and pull out piece by piece,
and just watch it go slow.
I said, and I don't want it, I don't like it on the back of my shirt, I don't like it on my pillow, I just want, and that's one thing you can control, because there's very little you can control in this process. So I'm going to control when, the hair's coming off today, so I don't have to deal with it. And, but to explain it to them and to know, should they be a part of it? Should they watch me get my hair shaved? If I just go away and come back and I don't have hair, I mean, you don't want to traumatize.
Right.
And so, really kind of trust in God. And some people, it's, that's probably good. I'd found a book online that kind of explained, good cells and bad cells, because that's how we explained it.
Okay.
There's good cells and bad cells, and Mommy needs the medicine to kill these bad cells. And So I found a good book, and so that kind of helped. I read it to him, and I guess we've kind of kept it upbeat. Like, well, Mommy's just gonna get a haircut. It's gonna be shorter than yours, and you can watch if you want to. You don't have to watch. I said I have a wig that I'm gonna wear, or hats, and we've been talking about it for a couple days. Emlyn they went to the circus, and there was all these Elsas on trapezes, and one of the wigs fell out. And so that actually started the conversation with her, because I said, well, Mommy's going to have a wig.
Yeah.
And then she asked quite a few questions, and so I explained it to her, and
she's making sure that yours won't fall off.
Well, yeah. And Luke said, well, what if you put your head down? Is it going to? And I said, no, it's pretty snug. Like, it's not just going to slide off. And, and they don't mind asking those questions. And, I said last time I never wore my wig. I bought one, and it just wasn't me. And so I just wore hats all the time. And I said, well, now with the little kids, I think I should wear my wig more often when they're around. Although they might not even care,
Right.
They'll just get used to me having a wig on or having hats on. But I thought, Connor's seen your picture. I don't really want to just have a hat or be bald.
Right.
Like, I want a nice picture. So I thought I better get one this time. And so, and like I said, we've been talking about it, and we'll just give them the option, Like, Mommy's going to get cut. If you want to watch, you can. If you don't, you could go play, and then, leave it up to them. And I guess gotta work it out, right? If they shouldn't see it, they'll go off and play, and they'll miss
walk
it.
Away and,
Yeah.
You'd be sitting around not having it on. They might tell you put it on.
Yeah, and that's okay. We'll do whatever they think. So. What else you got?
That's what I'm going through. I'm just seeing what we've talked about. Some of the stuff came out organic, which is what I was hoping to happen.
Yeah. I can talk.
That's right. What's been the most surprising thing for you this time, though? I mean, you went through it with your mom. You've gone through it yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're going through it again. What's been one of the most surprising things to happen?
I guess this time it's just different. Like I said last time, it was a lot easier because the kids were older. This time it's just been harder. And I said last time I never had to get, my levels never dropped down to 0. I never had to wear masks. I said, I just wonder why it's different this time. I said, because I do a lot of the comparing, and I said I never got it where I had to only eat soft food, and I think, gosh, this is so different. I guess that, because it's the exact same medicine that I took from last time. And so I expected it to be kind of the same.
Reaction?
Yeah. And I said I never took any pain pills. I know I never took pain pills last time and I don't know, I just was younger and I dealt with it. I don't know. I'm not that old now, but.
Well, could it be because you've got the little ones, and so you're forcing yourself to be more active, too?
I think so. And, Don's kind of protective mode right now, where like yesterday, you need to leave or you need to sit down, you've been standing too long at the thing. He's like, we need to go home, you need to rest. And especially I'm not supposed to fall, so this ice and snow is horrible because so he's really kind of protective. And I said they need a break too. He needs a break. So there's been a couple things he's been able to take Connor to and go, and people take the kids and do play dates or, whatever, and that's helpful. And that's why I said, really on the weekend where I'm really bad, like, I'd like them to get out of the house and go do something, Yeah. Like, he feels, somebody's got to be with you, but, I at least don't want the kids to see me, in the pain. Like, go and take them to a movie or somebody come and, just do something fun with them so they get out of the house. And because that's the hard part, the weeks where I can't get out of the house, we're all here, cooped up in the house. And
especially in the winter.
Yeah, they can't go outside and play, and so I'm like, okay, everybody's getting a little cabin fever. I said, take them and go do something with them. But he's always like, well, somebody's got to be with you, and I'm like, I could use just some quiet for a couple hours. Like, I'm okay.
Everybody's so close anyway. It's just a little
well, and they
call.
said 2 minutes here, you can call anybody. They'll be here in 2 minutes if I really needed something. And, But yeah, I guess that's the most surprising thing is just how different that it is and how weak I feel this time. Last time I worked in between. Like I had a treatment one week and I would have my bad week and I would go to school that next Friday and I would work until the next treatment. And I couldn't do that. Like even right after Christmas break, like I wasn't going to Ann Arbor till Thursday. I thought, oh, should I go and try to work? Should I not? Like, but I just didn't have the strength to get through a whole day.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was kind of weak to begin with, you know.
Okay.
And I think once I found out really what it was, then that lifted a whole lot of stress and off of me. Because I'm sure I was worried about why I was getting shortness of breath and.
So when did you actually find out that?
It was over Christmas break.
Okay.
I mean, luckily Christmas was done, you know, and I said, I guess that's a good thing too, because if we would have known before that, we went to a water park with the kids, you know, we did our Christmas like normal, and I said, if I would have known earlier, that would have just put a damper on all that. But it was pretty much the Monday after Christmas is when I went in, and that Tuesday I found out. So that whole last week over New Year's and stuff, it was tests and getting results, and so I knew by the Saturday before I was supposed to go back to work that I called and I said I'm not going to be able to. I mean, I thought I might, but
Not happening.
it's not going to happen. And he had known that I had worked last time kind of in between, and I said it's just not going to happen this time, and there's just no way I wouldn't have strength to get through a whole day. Kids don't have mercy on you.
Right.
Even if you're sick at school, they don't care.
They do for the first 5 minutes.
Right.
But
And then
when you're telling them what's going on, and then they turn back.
Yeah. So I said, I'm not going to do that. So, and I suspect I'll probably be out for the rest of the year because I have to have 11 more treatments. And if I can only do them every 3 weeks, I mean, that's going to be quite a while. And, you know, the doctor said you're always going to be doing some kind of treatment. Like it might not always be chemo, but it might be pills or it might be something else.
So by the start of next term, you're going to have to toughen it up. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't, you know, I guess when it gets towards summer and we see how my body's reacted to this treatment, I'll know a little bit more as far as can I go back to work in the fall? You know, is this, you know, what the next treatment is? Is it going to be something that I can work through where I don't have all these, you know, bad weeks and side effects? And so, because eventually we'll have to, I guess, make some sort of decision because, you know, if I can't go back next year, well, what if I do? You know, can I go back the next year? Is it going to get worse? And then, because I do qualify for disability, I guess, at this point. But the doctor said, let's wait and see how these treatments go, and then we can discuss it down the road. And cause that's going to be a big deal if I have to give up a career or, you know what I mean? That's a big decision that is kind of final. So.
I guess, see, you made it easy. We're at like 50 minutes
Okay,
already. This is so easy. I guess the last thing that, you know, we talk. There's the Thomas Strong campaign. What does that mean to you?
Well, I just think it's another way to show support, basically. You know, somebody kind of termed that slogan on Facebook, and then it kind of took off, and we ordered 200 bracelets, and then that wasn't enough, and so we ordered 200 more, and we've only got a handful left. I just think it's a way, like, people don't know what to do, so wearing a bracelet, and, you know, when I see the Thomas Strong, I guess it just gives me, you know, a little pep talk, you know, or encouragement to keep on going on. And I, you know, like I said, it was something Connor could kind of take and run with, and, you know.
So he can market it for you?
Yeah, he's very good at marketing and selling things. You know, and I didn't know really about the basketball game at all, you know, until they got that going. And there's other fundraisers that I don't. There's one in Harbor Beach that they're doing for me and another lady. She does it in honor of her mom who had breast cancer, and so this family runs kind of like it's younger kids, like 3rd through 5th grade basketball tournament or whatever. But they have all kinds of vendors and everything come in, and they approach Connor. Their athletic director knew him, and so Connor's got connections all over the state. And so they kind of approached him and said, hey, can we do this for your family? And he kind of asked me, and I said, sure, you know, and Connor's going to go up and ref, and if it's I feel good that weekend, well, I'll try to go up and, make an appearance there. But that's another community giving to us, to us. And I said it's, I guess, like I said, overwhelming that people, are so generous from other communities. And I think they sold over 500 T-shirts, and, that's nice to know that I guess you're loved and supported. And, that's what I think with the bracelets too. I'm shipping them to family, in other states. And I said people, the prayer lists that I'm on and all over the, the United States, people, have reached out. And I said there's people that'll Facebook message me and say, hey, and tell their story. We're praying for you here, wherever. And
you're getting
that's
all
nice.
over.
Yeah, because people have connections. Like, oh, I have my sister's church praying for you out in California, and I have this one down south. My family, they all added you to their list, and so that's pretty cool to know that there's people that don't even know you that are praying every single day. And so that's why I said Facebook's a good way to update for me, because I can't send out texts to that many people,
that's a lot of other church
I've got a couple of I got a couple of group texts, like a family one and a friend one, that I send out updates to. But I said it's, nice to just put it out there on Facebook, and then if people want to follow and keep up with me, then they can. If they don't, then that's fine too. I said, but that's my way of being able to share with all the people that are praying. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's overwhelming, and I can't thank everybody. I said I get stuff every day from different people, and I said I appreciate it, but I can't send out thank you notes to every person that drops off something, And I said I want people to know that we do appreciate it. I read everything on Facebook, every comment. I read every card that comes, and it's nice, but it's overwhelming to try to respond to people. But I said the generosity is, blows us away how much people, like I said, drop off gas cards and do this. Someone bought me a chair for upstairs, one of those medical one that's remote. It pretty much will stand you, it will stand me up, and it can lay all the way down. So like when I'm having a bad week next week and can't lay in bed, I can lay pretty much flat and get comfortable. The toughest part is kicking
the kids off of it.
Well, they think it's Mom, we got your chair, and it's like right up. I'm like, Mom can't sit on it when it's straight up. Like, put it down, kids. So yeah, as long as they don't break it and get into it. But yeah, and if anything, like yesterday, I told somebody, I said, if I'm going to go through all this, then God better use me, witness to people. Something better come out of it. Like, it better touch some people, because if I got to do this, then make it make it worthwhile, So, and I don't know, like I think of Elliot Orr and how many people that he's touched just by his Facebook and, just his constant faith. And I think he's touched more people than he'll ever know, in different ways. And I said, you always ask that why, and so I think, I don't know why, God, but make it make it worthwhile, make my kids see, that I tried to be strong and have a strong faith, and I hope that will make them choose, to live that way when they get older. And, I don't want them to be angry and, well, I know it's okay to question and get your anger out, but I want them to see that I tried, try to keep the smile, the sense of humor, laugh about it, because you don't have any other option. You could laugh or cry, and I'd rather make jokes and laugh about it than. I have my moments of. I have my moments, and like I said, I might get angry at God at some point, but at this point, I'm more accepting, I guess. I don't know why, and I wouldn't choose for my time on earth to be cut shorter. I'd like to be a little old lady, but I've also, come to terms that maybe that's not part of his plan. So,
all right.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to? You kind of did thank everybody a little bit, but do you want to make a?
Yeah, I'll probably put something in the paper just to do a mass thank you, but. Like I said, we really do appreciate everything that everybody's doing. I mean, people think prayers aren't enough, or I want to bring meals, or I want to take you somewhere, you know. And I said, just, we take it day by day and week by week. And, I mean, we will call people if we need help, you know. It definitely will let people know, and we will let people help. But just, you know, buying T-shirts or showing up to the game the other night, I mean, those are just awesome things. And, you know, like I said, prayer's probably the biggest thing. And if we don't thank you personally, if you've done something for us, we really do appreciate it. And, you know, you'll never know how much, you know, that we needed it and how much we appreciate it. And
excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, thank you. We'll
all right.
wrap it up. Thank you for being my big number 2.
All right.
Hopefully,
hopefully it turned out okay.
It sounded good in this ear. Okay. I can tell you that.
Good.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.